The house you spent 30 years paying off isn't actually yours. The American dream you were sold was nothing more than a sophisticated rental agreement with a landlord you never agreed to meet. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you isn't a conspiracy theory. It is the mathematical reality of 2026. They sold you a castle. They promised sovereignty, security, but that promise was a lie. Today, you don't finish paying for your house, you just trade one landlord for another. And the new landlord? It's far worse than the bank. Look at this document, a property tax statement from this year. See that red stamp? Delinquent. This is what happens when you stop paying the fee. The county takes your house, not the bank, the government. Think about the logic. If an entity can seize your property because you missed an annual payment, do you really own it, or are you just renting the land from the state under the threat of force? You are not a homeowner. You are a tenant with debt, and your rent, property tax, is due until the day you die. This is neo-feudalism. You're the serf. The land belongs to the Lord, and the Lord never gives it up. But taxes always existed, you say. Here is why 2026 is different. American cities are broke. Post-pandemic deficits, the commercial real estate collapse, empty downtown towers that used to generate billions in tax revenue. The money is gone, so where is it coming from now? You, your house, your equity. Look at the numbers. Property tax assessments have skyrocketed between 2024 and 2026. In some counties, homeowners are seeing increases of 30, 40, even 50%, not because their houses are worth more, but because the government is desperate. Meanwhile, real wages, flat, stagnant. The cost of living is crushing the middle class, and now the only asset they thought they owned is being eaten alive by taxes. It is an extraction machine designed to consume your equity one bite at a time until there is nothing left. And here's the kicker: you can't escape it. You can pay off your mortgage, you can own your house free and clear, but that tax bill, it never stops, it only grows. So let me ask you this: if you have to pay someone else for permission to live in your own home, who really owns it? But the government isn't the only one. There is a landlord waiting in the shadows, the HOA, the Homeowners Association. You think they are just there to keep the neighborhood nice, to make sure everyone mows their lawn? Wrong. In 2026, HOAs have evolved into private governments with the power to destroy you, and you signed away your constitutional rights the moment you bought a home in one of their communities. Here's how it works. You buy a house, you sign the HOA agreement. Somewhere buried in that 100-page document is a clause that says the HOA can fine you for violating their rules. Paint your door the wrong shade of beige? $50 fine. Park your car on the street overnight? $100. No big deal, right? Just pay the fine and move on. Except HOAs don't just want the $50. They want interest, late fees, legal fees, collection costs. I've seen the documents. A $50 fine for a wrong paint color, plus interest, plus legal fees, plus collection costs, becomes a $5,000 lien, and then they foreclose. They take the house over a paint color. You thought the Constitution protected your property rights? Not when you signed that HOA covenant. You agreed to let a corporation run by your neighbors become a mini government with more power over your daily life than City Hall. And here's the nightmare part. Many HOAs are now managed by massive property management companies. These aren't volunteers trying to keep the neighborhood nice. These are for-profit corporations that make money from fines, violations, and foreclosures. A $75 fine for leaving your trash can out too long becomes $500 in legal fees, becomes $5,000 in collection costs, becomes a lien on your house, becomes a foreclosure auction. A homeowner loses their paid-off house because of an unpaid fine that started at $75 and ballooned into a monster that swallowed everything. You signed away your constitutional rights for a manicured lawn. You agreed to let a corporation run by your neighbors hold the deed to your life. This is the system. This is what homeownership has become in 2026. But let's zoom out, because what I've just described, the property taxes and the HOA tyranny, these aren't bugs in the system, they're features. The economic model of 2026 doesn't want you to own anything, it wants you to subscribe to everything. Welcome to the subscription economy. Your phone, your software, your car, your music, your movies, and now your house. The middle class of 2026 isn't a class of owners, it's a class of permanent renters, and the people who actually own the assets, the institutional landlords, the massive investment funds that have been buying up entire neighborhoods, turning single-family homes into rental properties, ensuring that the next generation will never own anything. You've probably heard the stories. A house goes up for sale in your neighborhood. You put in an offer, but you get outbid by a faceless corporation that paid cash, 20% over asking, sight unseen. That's not a free market, that's a rigged game. These funds have unlimited capital, tax advantages you'll never see, and a strategy that's crystal clear. Own everything, rent it back to the people who used to be homeowners, and extract wealth forever. You're not competing with other families trying to buy a home. You're competing with Wall Street, and Wall Street always wins. So let me ask you this: how does it feel knowing the game was rigged before you even started playing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. Are you seeing this in your area? Have you been outbid by a corporate buyer? Let's compare notes. Now I know what you're thinking. What do we do about this? How do we fight back? And here's the hard truth. You can't. I'm not here to give you 5 tips to pay off your mortgage faster. That's generic advice that misses the point entirely. The point is this: homeownership as you understood it is dead. The idea that you can buy a piece of land, pay it off, and live there in peace, that's a 20th century dream in a 21st century nightmare. The new reality is that ownership is a legal illusion. You don't own your house. You lease it from the government through property taxes. You lease it from the HOA through covenants. You lease it from the economy through inflation and rising costs. The real wealth in 2026 isn't the house you live in. It might not even be real estate at all. So what's the move? Awareness, understanding the game so you can make better decisions, knowing that the system isn't designed to build wealth for you, it's designed to extract wealth from you. The American dream didn't die, it was repossessed.
And if you want to understand what they're coming for next, hit that subscribe button, because this is just the beginning. The ownership lie goes deeper than real estate. It's in your bank account, your retirement fund, your car, your data, your privacy, your freedom. Everything you think you own is being quietly converted into something you rent. Every asset is being financialized. Every right is being commodified. Every piece of sovereignty is being sold back to you as a service with terms and conditions you never read. This isn't just about houses. This is about the fundamental transformation of the relationship between citizens and power, between individuals and the systems that govern them. You were born into a world where ownership was possible. Your parents bought a house, paid it off, and it was theirs. They owned a car outright. They had a pension that couldn't be touched. They had privacy that wasn't for sale. That world is gone. In 2026, you don't own, you subscribe. You lease, you rent. And if you stop paying, if you violate the terms, if you fall behind, The system repossesses everything: your house, your car, your software, your identity, your data. This is the new feudalism, and you need to see it clearly. Subscribe, turn on notifications, because the house was just the beginning, and I'm going to show you exactly what they're coming for next. I'll see you in the next one.